There is a major theme right now within the collective ever since the eclipse season, and honestly, years before that, it has already started where relationships are shifting, changing, rearranging, dissolving, ending, beginning all around us. And this is part of the ascension process. Now, the eclipse season, we were blessed with an eclipse in Libra, and Libra is the energy of relationships. It is that representation in our life of coming into right relationship, which means right relationship meaning we are in alignment, right? And so it doesn't mean that we have to agree. Alignment does not mean we have to agree. Alignment means we can accept, we can be open, we can be vulnerable, we can be true, we can be kind, we can be loving, we can be in our truth and still be in relationship with the other. And furthermore, they can be in their truth and still be in right relationship with the other. So it's elevating the relationship into a space of intimacy. And what are we taught? We are taught disconnection. We are taught not to be intimate with others, not to tell people how we feel, not to share what is on our heart, what our truth is. You know, I know things are changing in the world and children are being taught differently now, especially when their parents are conscious and on a spiritual awakening journey and going through this ascension and understanding of it. So children are now being brought up differently than years and years and years ago when I was brought up. And, I was always taught to be honest, yes. However, there was this structure within the family that certain things get kept within the family structure. Not everything is meant to be shared. And I understand that. We don't want to be, airing out our dirty laundry on social media or oversharing things. However, when it comes to relationship and being with another human being and allowing ourselves to be open, to be real, to be raw, to allow ourselves that space without judgment, to speak without censoring ourselves, to really allow that space of full expression. There is such a beautiful experience that occurs in relationship when we allow this. And when we allow it, when we open the door within ourselves to come into that space, we open the doorway for the person who is relating with us to feel safe in their body, to trust, to be open with us. And what we give, we receive. And this is where the shift in relationships is occurring right now. As we ascend, as we become more aware, more conscious, as we let go of the old parts of ourself that no longer serve our highest and fullest potential, our greatest expression as a download of the divine, we are letting go of that old paradigm of hiding, of keeping things hidden behind closed doors. There's one saying that I absolutely love, and I believe it is a lesson from A Course in Miracles, or at least a part of A Course in Miracles. I have delved in and out of those teachings, never done the full book altogether, but there is a saying, and I resonate so deeply. My brothers and my sisters are my salvation. It is so powerful to see that what is reflected in front of me is what is within me. And so what I give, I receive. The frequency I emit, I attract into my field. And so what is happening when it comes to this relating is that when we start to rise into that greater expression of sharing our gifts, sharing our struggles, sharing our challenges, sharing our experiences, because through our sharing stories, we become relatable, and other people start to step forward to see that they are not alone in their spiritual evolution, that others are experiencing similar things. And in that moment, there is a connection that is made, there is an intimacy that is created. And so, the more that we step into that expression of our truth, we are shifting the paradigm. We are stepping into the new timeline where connection and unity is the focus, and division and separation is being released. And so when we have relationships that are on the other timeline, where it was built on the paradigm of where we once were, where we weren't fully open, fully honest, fully accepting of where we're at and where others are at. And yes, it's always a work in progress. There's layers upon layers of moving through these lessons until we're fully clean and pure within our own consciousness as we ascend. And as we do this, those relationships that were built on the old paradigm will end. They will either dissolve naturally, they may come to an end with some pain. You know, those growing pains occur within our relationships as well, especially when we've built them on a, well, I would like to say like a false idea of what they were. And at the same time, if we truly look at it, it's like looking at where we were. And so a part of us, we are also mourning in that death of that relationship. I don't know why this story is coming through, but I'm going to share it. It's a very old story. I believe I was around 16 years old, 15, 16. I had a best friend, and we hung out and had the best times. We laughed all the time. We loved the same music. We'd go to coffee shops. And a lot of our relationship was built around smoking pot, getting high, and then going out and doing things together. And I, for the first time, felt like I was so close with somebody, and my heart was fully open with her. And there was a time and a point in our relationship where she decided to stop partaking in the party lifestyle on the level that we were at, where we were at. And I felt the pain of that loss, of that relationship. And it was hard for me to lose that relationship. And I mean, in that moment, I wasn't ready to let go of my relationship with my own addiction, with my own choice at that point in time, you know. And I mean, this is old stuff. And as now we grow and as we move beyond old habits and patterns and behaviors, those relationships that support those old habits and behaviors and patterns that we are in are unable to be in our world anymore. They really are not. Because everything is energy, and wherever you are energetically is where you will experience your life. And so it really truly is this opportunity to see the bigger picture, as painful as it may be when we lose relationships, especially the ones that feel hard to lose, hard to let go of, painful, to see the silver lining within it. That on an energetic standpoint, we are no longer an energetic match. And where we choose to put our energy is where we will create our reality. And to be able to be strong in our own power, connected to the divine power, to be strong in that power to keep choosing it amidst the painful losses that we go through. And as I said before, a part of it is the loss of the self. There was a major loss of the self when I went through choosing sobriety in my life. That was almost a full lifetime of a way of living that I was letting go of. That was a huge part of my life that was having a death experience. And yes, it happens in layers and it shifts and changes and gets easier over time. Yet to keep the focus on God, keep the focus on unity, keep the focus on higher consciousness, the merging of the human self with the higher self, with the divine self, keeping the focus on why we are truly here, to be an emanation of the divine, to be an expression of God, to share and create a new earth paradigm where there is unity and connection, acceptance, love, bliss, joy. Bliss and joy are our natural states of being, and we get glimpses of them. We truly do, and they can last longer periods of time now. And can you imagine a world where this is the state of being that we are in and it is natural? This is what we are moving into now. And so the relationships are in that state of rearrangement as we ascend. Some relationships that are released come back in the later years, right? So the focus at all times is to come back to center. The most important relationship is our relationship with God, our relationship with our own consciousness. And in that relationship, we will always be steered in the direction that is of the highest and greatest good for all, for ourselves, for our friends, for our family, for all humankind, for the entire world, for Mother Earth, for Gaia, the consciousness. It will always steer us in the direction of right relationship. And one other message is coming in that I find very important is in the letting go. Sometimes we want to hold on to relationships and the other person isn't ready to let go either. Yet when we're truly aligned, when we are truly centered in knowing what is best, because we're in that alignment with God and we're being directed and steered by that truth, we are doing a disservice to the other person by holding on and not taking the step that we are being guided to take. And we are doing the work by taking the step, by listening to the guidance and giving the other person an opportunity for growth. We all have soul contracts here on earth. There are no mistakes, and we are all in each other's life as a reflection. And it is truly a beautiful thing when we can start seeing it from the space of energetics. And when we see things as energy, it shows us reality. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you have a beautiful day, evening, wherever you are in the world. And remember to subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And I'll be back again tomorrow. I'll see you soon.